We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Who was just selling crypto and why were they selling crypto? Well, I'll venture a guess. I'll venture that Elon putting his foot in his mouth has got people questioning everything about the honeymoon, about the election. Will the orange man do the strategic Bitcoin reserve? Now, the new fashionable thing is to say, well, no, they won't. So they slapped the market. And that's it. Now, if you think about it, in my opinion, there is absolutely no reason to be bearish crypto. None. Now, crypto can go down. Okay. Just like it did, 4 hours ago. But did that make any sense? No. Is it purely based on FUD? Probably. And I still have to be honest, not happy about some of these developments, basically around Twitter, not happy. And I still think the only way out for the administration and for humanity is through crypto. To me, it's just so obvious now. So obvious. And even if they try to hit the market, I don't care. It's like crypto is a mechanism for human freedom. Period. End of story. And that is why it's so valuable. Right. And even what's gone on in the last 4 days, when I look back at some of the stuff that went on with meme coins, even though some of that stuff is and always was laughable despite the price action, at least people were trying to break out. They were trying to make money. They were trying to be free. It was as simple as that. It looked excessive. But then, when you see, oh, yeah, I really don't care about you. I really care about going to Mars. You, whoever you is, you can go. Okay. When I really let that sink in, yeah, it's crypto forever. It's make the green button great again. Make the green button great again. And if they want to sell and they want to knock it down or they want to FUD Ethereum, whatever it is they want to do, I can tell you, we just got off the member live stream. Okay. So we have a YouTube member area. We also have Patreon. That's our middle tier, but we just got off the YouTube member podcast where we went over the 2025 preview charts. We went over everything that everyone's talking about. And of course, the groupthink is always wrong. We pretty much started with that. And then we moved to what's right. We moved to how it's going to move, how you need to trade. Hint, do not be depressed about these 62% retracements. Everybody is so depressed about this, right? Market goes up, market goes down. Everyone's upset. Everyone thinks it's not the cycle. The cycle's over. It's the bear market. They're not doing the Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's like FUD, it like multiplies in a dish like bacteria. We just went over this for like an hour and a half, and Toby immediately turned around and said to me, we're doing part 2 tomorrow or in the next 2 days. So like the 2025 preview, especially when we're going on and we're commenting on what everyone else is doing, right? What everyone else is saying, which is of course wrong, honestly. Like the group think about next year is wrong. And I can tell you this much. We have XRP price targets, stuff, the XRP 2025 price prediction, the targets. I know it should be a video. I might make a video. Then again, I might leave it for the members, right? Because what was said and what we talked about, that's members only type stuff. What I can tell you is there is a lot of ridiculously bullish stuff going on underneath the surface. And I can tell you that despite my general distaste for what's gone on Twitter lately, it just means the orange man is going to have to come out harder and bigger and faster for Bitcoin because he's got himself in a pickle now and he's going to get out of it using Bitcoin. And there is also one thing I could tell you from this podcast that actually struck me as unbelievable when she said it. But this guy, Michael Saylor, is never going to stop. He's never going to stop. He's just going to keep being an absolute multi-billion-dollar wild man. In other words, everybody gets so fixated on what he's doing right now that people don't realize that he's going to continue to do it. So we have Patreon. That's the middle tier offering where I can just go off and say whatever it is that I need to say that can't be said on YouTube, right? It's like the top rated 8-minute macro update plus charts and portfolios, which are back. Okay, which are back. Some of them were in the member live stream. They're going to eventually, some of them are going to wind up in Patreon. And then there's LuxAlgo, the thing we use to do all the TA, right? There's the service itself. That's the QR code. And then my special indicators, 40% off. Call only a couple days left in that promo. Noble, Noble, N-O-B-L-E is the code for 40% off my indicators. All right. Let's welcome who's here. Everybody came in from the member live stream, right? Welcome everybody. Right? Looks like Sync is here. How you doing? Right? Joe Mike, Art from the airport. Welcome. Randall is here in the house going bananas with the emojis. Right? Indie Rock Crypto. Randall, Jamie, Julius Max, Bull Runner, Diogo, Hans, everybody coming over from the stream. Cossacks, Luis. By the way, if you like these emojis in the comments, you can actually get them for $4.99 a month. It gives you a priority on comments on the stream. Right? Justin, Brian, welcome. Quiet Don, Gian, hello. Brick Dreams, DC Precise is here. Will MSTR 2100 ever come back? Oh, God, that just hurt. We'll look at it. Okay. Crypto Scam 1, GF is here. Ian, welcome. Arms SX, welcome. Good evening. Okay, let's go. News. Some mind-boggling thing is going on here. During times of Tether FUD, it's good. During times of Tether FUD, it's good to look at the people FUDding and how they are aligned with the competition, USDC. Tether is owned by Bitcoiners and their incentives are aligned with BTC. Note, Goldman was there in 2015. I didn't even know that. Right. Coinbase is there. You know, BlackRock was a part of the $400 million funding round in 2022 for Tether. Look, Tether can always get itself into trouble because of how profitable it is with a small amount of people. Cantor Fitzgerald vouched for it. But listen, when we're doing quantum computing, Tether, right? You know, Michael Saylor's over leverage. When all this stuff comes out, you look back at it when the market is at 120 and you go, what was everyone talking about at 98 again? 96? What was everyone talking about? Right? Who did this to the market? Right? The suppressors. Right? They have to try to hold it down because they can't get what they need. They just can't get what they need. It's that simple. And this is now complicated because I think you've got ignition on alternative investments, alternative technology, laughably because of Elon. I think Elon just strapped the rocket to this whole market that, like, we are done with Web 2 telling us what to do. We're done. You know, banks, done. Web 2, done. Right? And then there's the orange man who is going to have to leverage crypto to get where he wants to go. And they're all going to have to fall in line, and that includes Elon. So all this FUD for what? You know, all this, like, everyone's like, oh, wait, all the way up, and now it's all the way down. Maybe your trade location is off. Maybe you can tax loss sell your position and buy it back 5 minutes later. Not investment advice. California is the worst state to move to per Consumer Affairs. You know what? It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter whether you have a job or someone takes your job. Well, obviously it matters. But what really matters is crypto. Honestly, because it's the only way to be free, period. Not doing the long speech tonight. U.S. credit card default jumps to highest level since 2010. Consumers are tapped out. So you had another round of food inflation over Christmas. You know, how does this get solved? Right? They have to create a wealth effect using crypto, or everyone's just going to default on the banks. And the orange man's probably going to have to come in and drop everyone's rates to 10%, because I don't understand what the incentive is to not default when you discover your rates 30%. As soon as you discover your rates 30%, you're just like, I'm done. Take these things. I'm out. Right? Put a judgment on my credit. That's one way to look at it. Or you can come at it from an abundance point of view, and that there's so much money to be made. If you can scrape the money together to get involved in crypto, the credit card debt goes away. And they know this at the top. They have to know this, that they don't understand that they need to create a wealth effect. This is no longer, I mean, this is about the dollar. This is about interest rates being too high. I don't understand what the bond market is doing. God, we've been through all this, right? The dollar is ridiculous. They have to create a wealth effect, or they're going to have a disaster, right? Volatility Shares files for Solana Futures ETF, despite lack of Solana Futures products. I'm just going to tell you right now, don't fade Solana. There's an ICO boom in 2018. I'm sorry. If there's an ICO boom in 2025, yeah, don't fade Solana. Don't fade Solana. Blockchain power AI agent AI16Z reaches $1.5 billion market cap. I'm pretty sure at some point I looked at this. And of course, like all these things, they went up, they went down 70%, and then they turned around and woke up and went to unbelievable valuations because they had the narrative, right? I mean, it's assumed now that AI agents will be doing everything next year. Obviously, AI will advance at a rapid pace, but, you know, AI eating the world, not necessarily. Matter of fact, one of the sectors that we had in the podcast was about as far away from AI as you get, which is funny. It was all the talk, I don't know, 8 months ago, but no one's talking about it now. Anyway, look at stuff when it's down. Gary Gensler is gone. The man who said everything but Bitcoin falls under his agency's purview is on the way out. But what's next for the industry? Let me answer the question, okay? You're now free to build something. I have an article in here that is absolutely unbelievable about crypto VC being down like 63% year over year. So you had all of this rock and roll action, and VCs walked away. Nobody built anything except meme coins. Nobody built anything. You're now free to build whatever you want to build. El Salvador, 6,000 Bitcoin. Who follows? I'm guessing corporations. Corporations may wind up pushing sovereigns. Okay, the year in Ethereum, technical upgrades, and the orange man. You know, sometimes I wonder what would happen if you had a bridge, a simple bridge that made it easy to go back and forth between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and whether or not that could wake up Ethereum all by itself. I still don't agree, and neither does Toby, with this whole idea that ETH is dead. You know, she said 4,800 ETH seems easy, like quickly. So I don't understand why everyone is getting so depressed, right? I'm not doing it. Crypto crystal ball. How hard will the orange man fight for Bitcoin? Okay, well, here's what I can tell you after the podcast. If he fights hard, your 2025 and 2026 Bitcoin price targets, which we discussed, are too low. And your XRP targets, like everyone has targets for XRP like, $10. And when do they think that's going to happen? Well, at some point in the far off future. Okay, well, we didn't discuss $10, but what we did discuss for the short term is shocking, particularly since everybody is in such a big hurry to ship their XRP to Binance to be sold, kind of like the Germans did with Bitcoin. Don't make this mistake. Altcoin euphoria phase begins once market cap jumps 16%. Okay, markets could remain choppy. Okay, well, December showed you that it wasn't a Santa rally, that it was chop. And everybody sold the fact on the orange man in December. And they may continue to do so in January, because January you could have people selling for taxes. Okay, whatever. Seriously, whatever. They want to knock the market down, take it from them. You got something, you still believe in it, stay with it. What did you believe in? What do you like? Okay, that's the member area. That's Patreon. Come pay us a visit. Like I said, just a quick digression. Okay, these are all the members only videos we have. So we had the Santa surprises, altcoin bargains, and we had the 2025 preview, right? Starring Toby, right? Where we went through portfolios that, I helped build, and then she helped pick out the top coins. So we're actually taking this to like a whole other level, where we're not just giving you the groupings. We'll give you the groupings. And then she's like, of these groupings, we like, or I like these coins. And it's very clear what to do from there. Michael Saylor, post Bitcoin chart, hints at impending purchase. $41 billion he's got right now. Okay. He's just not going to stop, right? In other words, as soon as there's no like dot plot where he buys, he wants to put another dot. He's not going to stop. He's not. Everyone thinks he's going to blow up. He's not going to blow up. He's probably just going to like corner the market. Yeah, I know that's not a friendly term, corner the market, but this guy may wind up with a gigantic amount of Bitcoin. Okay. Need to know what happened in crypto today? Yeah. Saylor, and meme coins lose $40 billion. Thing about meme coins is, it was dogs, cats, and hippos. Then this AI narrative took over. And what you have to remember is what I always say: who's selling you your meme coins on a centralized exchange? Whales and hedge funds. Who's taking your Bitcoin, Ethereum? Who's taking your Solana below 190? Hedge funds, right? Everybody's getting all twisted up here. You're not supposed to get twisted up. Or if you are twisted up, walk away. Take a deep breath. I'm serious. Last thing you want to do is to let this market twist you up heading into next year, because I actually think it's obvious they're trying to twist you up on purpose. Bitcoin trader eyes yearly close gains. So, there's all kinds of games that they play at the end of the year. They play games with options. They play games with polymarket, like where's it going to be at the end of the year? Look, whatever it is they decide to do in crypto, if the market goes down and they can't hold it down, it's going up. I've been saying that on the market update for 3 days, and I'm continuing to say it. Your upside price targets for 2025, the upside catalysts that are going to come from the orange man who is like backed into a corner with his, like, what I would call the bro base. The bro base that just voted for him, yeah, they just got slapped by Elon. Okay, so some people are not happy, and he's got to make these people happy, and the only way to do that is crypto. Will Ethereum outperform Bitcoin? Okay, well, I actually think that that's possible. Like I said, my colleague just said 4,800. 5,000 ETH feels easy because ETH is underperformed so much, right? A lot of times, what do they do in equities? they have these charts, right? They say, okay, here are the top performing assets, and we're going to sell them, and we're going to buy the bottom performing assets. Literally, that's what financial advisors do. They have a list of mutual funds. So if the S&P did great, and I don't know, stocks in Brazil didn't, they'll sell S&P and allocate a little money to stocks in Brazil. In crypto, Bitcoin did great, but Ethereum didn't do much. So there could be an organic allocation to Ethereum, both out of the Magnificent Seven and just people just rotating. You're like, oh, okay, this didn't perform. We just buy it. That's what they do in equities. Okay, celebrity tokens that burn bright, then burned out. Okay, so this AI agent thing is assumed to become the next celebrity token. Like every influencer in 2025 is assumed to be a robot. This is possible. This is everywhere. Possibly consensus. Okay, celebrity tokens may come back. I mean, they couldn't do any worse this year. I'm wondering if it's sports. Okay, even if it's not sports, it'll be the AI agents and the stuff that these AI agents are going to create. You know, they're probably going to start trading at 500 million eventually, right? And if they can release them slowly and you can find hidden gems from hidden agents, yeah, it's going to go up. You're going to have an ICO boom. And the thing that's unbelievable is, you know, everybody missed, a lot of people missed the dog cat meme coin thing that happened on Solana. What happens? Ready? I'm going to give you something crazy from the podcast. What happens if there's an AI agent boom on a chain like Tron, Kaspa, SEI? Like, what happens when the AI agent thing gets going on another chain? Or what happens when it gets going on Solana, or see all the above? Has anyone thought about the AI trade as it relates to the layer ones where they release all this stuff? Do they want to do it all on Solana? I don't know. They may, and that's why Solana can go up massively. Solana can also become a payment network. Everyone is all in love with stable coins. I don't know. It just seems really easy to pay with Solana, if you ask me. And I don't know why everyone's down on it. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Triumph over turmoil. One thing I will say about 2024 was that this market made you want to quit the business multiple times. Like I haven't really done any like major reflecting. Okay, I'm going to try to remember to reshare the screen. So I caught it out of the gate. I was like, let's go Stan Druckenmiller. It went to where it went in March. I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get a minor dip, like 2 months, like 2020. It turned into an 8-month torture range where traders and short sellers like raked in money at the expense of trend followers. Then the day before the election, Benjamin Cohen is like, altcoins are going to zero. Then the market just completely exploded, vindicating the thinking that when I was in the range of just basically incessantly bull posting, saying that this is an accumulation zone, not a short selling zone. And I think the short sellers are going to, they're making the same mistake as we speak, right? They're like, oh yeah, watch this. I'm going to make 5% and I'm going to get leveraged. And then, you know, I'll make tons of money. Meanwhile, this thing is like sitting here on the launch pad. You know, a lot of coins, like, you know, we looked at Sushi and Polkadot on the show. Like the market explodes and it goes down. And we talked about what that means for 2025, but everyone is all depressed, just like they were back in the fall and in the summer. And every time you get depressed, this market just like rockets up in your face and then you're chasing it, right? The time to get involved is when everyone is depressed. Triumph over turmoil. Abundance over fear. Bitcoin dips below 94K. Are the bears in control? Bears have never been in control all year. The trick is the bears thought they were in control, and that's what created the explosive rally, because they all had to get out of the way, turn their positions around, and get long. And by the time they did that, it was gone. Honestly, And then they created this narrative that I didn't want to pay 75, 85, 95. I didn't want to buy the Bitcoin at these prices because I'm buying the top. And then it just kept right on going. And now Michael Saylor is going to buy any $10,000 dip in this thing. Bitcoin may reach 150K or 400K based on the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Look, it has an abbreviation now. Look at that. And Fed rates. Okay. Strategic Bitcoin reserve, you know, you have to wonder if they have the infrastructure for that. That's obvious. Okay. Fed rates. Yeah. Fed rates. Fed rates, credit cards, employment, visas. It just, all the data that they've been working off for the last 2 years has been fake. AI poses threat to North American electricity grid. Okay, so this is real. This is real. And it's very possible that the ultimate expression of the AI trade in the beginning is power, copper, commodities, right? Like there is a component of AI that's deflationary in that it makes certain things cheaper, right? But there's this idea that if you don't get these guys nuclear power, they're going to suck down all the electricity on the grid. You're going to need Bitcoin miners selling power to, I don't know, somehow abate the thirst. Okay. AI changes the world. It may change the world in a very vanilla way first. Dogecoin rebound possible. Tell you what, Elon's dug himself quite the hole, at least in my book. Okay. And Doge is the only way out, right? Because, you know, I'm not particularly interested in what he's got to say. Maybe it all blows over. Maybe he just shadow bans everybody, whatever, right? I know what he thinks of me, right? And now I know that when the market goes down, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm never going to go, oh, look, some Web 2 guy, some billionaire with a robot. No, I'm not doing that ever again. Speaking of that, look at this. You want to talk about the mother? I was like, this is dated December 29th. Bill Gates expressed skepticism about Bitcoin. I don't know if that's in the past or recently, right? But obviously, anything that this guy has to say, A, you fade, and B, you know, he can reevaluate his position. Okay. Let's just say in whatever living arrangement he winds up with. Okay. I'm done with these guys. And you know what, folks? We're all done with these guys, and Mr. Market is going to be done with these guys. Like this whole thing about suppressing crypto prices so these bigger people can get Bitcoin. Yeah, that's going to end. That's going to end courtesy of these Web 2 big mouths who are going to be humbled by Mr. Market, right? Mr. Market is going to show, right, by the valuations of like the AI agents and all this stuff. You just wait, right? The world is going to vote. Right. And as money comes out of the equity market, just in a normal allocation process, those guys are going to chase the hot stuff. Right. And the hot stuff is not these guys anymore, which is why getting depressed about crypto and altcoins is just absolutely insane. Right. MicroStrategy financial engineering powers ascent to NASDAQ 100. Convertible bonds to fund Bitcoin purchases have been scooped up by investors. People are going to have to start buying Bitcoin miners, and Bitcoin miners may start buying each other, right? They may start merging. In other words, the idea is get as big as possible. And frankly, it's not investment advice, but you want to get your bag packed. Right. I know I had everyone's bags packed for the Santa rally. You want to keep those bags packed for the post-inauguration world, because all of these guys have sold the rally. They've all sold the fact. We haven't even seen the fact yet. We haven't seen the fact yet. Now, this is becoming very popular in the legacy press. The delusion behind a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Is it a resilience strategy for the hodlers? It's a resilience strategy for the hodlers, not the U.S. state. Okay. So, of course, Michael Saylor and all these guys, everybody wants Uncle Sugar to pump their book. A Bitcoin strategic reserve is code for crypto QE. Period. Right? In other words, the orange man goes to Bitcoin Nashville. He's like, I'm going to get rid of Gary Gensler. The crowd goes wild. He goes, whoa. Let me say that again. I'm going to get rid of Gary Gensler. And the crowd goes wild. Now, all the people in that audience, like maybe they had a lot of money in crypto. Maybe they were super savvy crypto players. But maybe there was somebody in there that couldn't get the job that they wanted. Or maybe there's somebody who got into crypto because, I don't know, they saw the orange man talking about it. Right? So, yes. How are we going to get bros to get out of their basement, go out on a date, make a baby, buy a house and a car? That was like a given in 1960, 70, 80, 90, even 2000. Now it's impossible. The Russians are paying 10,000 US dollars per baby. Like, oh, do you think this is going away? This is not going away. You think these governments can't see the global population data? Like, it's a question of time before Elon pivots from whatever he just literally soiled himself talking about to things like the population problem and Doge on Twitter. Otherwise, why use Twitter? I don't know. That's just me, right? You have Bitcoin going up and Web3 following it. It's QE. They can put in a small amount of money into the Bitcoin ETF and just psychologically goose the whole system. It doesn't have to be this like, let's back the dollar with Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, it eventually does, but they got to get crypto QE going. And you'll see that. You will see that in the news in the future, because what we do here is we don't just read the news. We're trying to read today's news and tell you tomorrow's news. Okay. All right. That is what we got on news. Let's see who's here. We have Daniel J in the house. Welcome. Right. T-Bone, thoughts on the FTX paybacks. Okay, so I don't know if FTX is sending cash, okay, or crypto. Most likely a lot of people with FTX paybacks, if they're sent in crypto, they're probably going to sell. To be honest, they're probably going to sell because everybody's in bear mode now. Any artificial force selling, Mt. Gox, the Germans, FTX. Now, if FTX, if they get paid in dollars, I think a lot of them can immediately reinvest. A lot of people can immediately reinvest. So I don't know if you get crypto and it's up a lot, right? Okay. FTX to begin paying customers in early 2025 from the Eagle King. Okay. Bankruptcy distributions. Okay. Okay. It doesn't say, the news doesn't say whether or not it's, I have it right here. I'm going to share the screen so we can just see it together. Okay. FTX customers with claims of less than 50K will be receiving repayments. The bankruptcy plan touted a solution that provides the vast majority of customers with over 120% of their account value. The reality is users will have missed out on the massive crypto gains. Okay. Okay. It's not saying whether they get dollars or not. I would imagine FTX customers less than 50K have bills to pay. Then again, they're getting handed a dip. They're getting handed a dip. Like the FTX customers are like, wow, you guys are going to probably take profits. You sold it the whole month of December. You flooded the market, and then you gave me all the money that I put in to begin with. I don't know, man. That sounds bullish to me. Honestly, crypto scam loading up on Ski, Pengu, and HBAR daily. And he thinks Abstract is going to be big. Let's take a look at Abstract. Oh my God. Is that the XRP long-term price prediction? Oh no. Did I just leak it? Okay. I don't think I've got the right coin there. We'll look at it later. Let's go to DeMark. Okay. Let's just go to like what's going on 4-hour charts. We've been doing a lot of this lately. So you got a negative signal in Solana last night. Obviously a down trade. Now Solana is actually trying to hold support on DeMark moving averages. It's interesting. Okay. Ethereum trying to show signs of life and break out. I don't know if it can, but I like the attitude on the altcoins. Okay. Someone's sitting on Bitcoin. We know that, down at 93. They're just going to sit on it. Really. I actually think they're panicking. Doge is at resistance. So I don't know. There isn't really anything going on here that makes me go like, oh God, I got to buy it right now. Right. It's not there yet on charts. Right. But, psychologically, if you look at Solana unwound the entire election rally and is just sitting here. I just cannot believe anybody would be bearish Solana or Ethereum or XRP. Like, how is anyone seeing this up only and then sideways as something negative? And even if it was, XRP dips down and turns around and goes right back. I was talking to Toby about XRP at $1.80. She's like, oh man, that's way too low. Everyone's like, $1.80 in XRP. We have different numbers. Might want to check that out. We have different numbers, right? It's you're gonna like what you see, right? Right. You're gonna like what you see on that. Crypto Scam says, Bill Gates' skepticism makes him more bullish. We did not do Stellar in the premium webinar. I know we talked about doing it. I'll do it here. So here's the thing about Stellar, right? You had a lot of bag holders who are probably getting out at the end of the year. Okay. That said, this should be the buy point. This should be it. Like, you should be able to grab Stellar here because, every time you've gotten these 13 bottoms on the 4-hour charts, that's been the buy. And I'm kind of hoping for altcoins in general, like, they sort of took the market out to the woodshed earlier today, like with ETH. They wicked some of this stuff down pretty hard. I just continue to believe with the way this DeMark work looks, that if you get one more flush down in ETH, that's going to be a 13 bottom and it's going to be game on in altcoins. Altcoins are not shitcoins. Not after Elon. Not anymore. They're just not. They're just not. Right? Okay. Let's go to more live TA where I can do the things that I know people want to hear about. Okay, so here is antivirus, right? So the story with this is there is no story. I have no fundamental updates about this because I can't get one. Okay. However, the narrative is still intact. The privacy AI agent narrative is intact. You can see heavy tax loss selling. It's a micro cap. Volatility can be expected. You should never put any money in a micro cap if you can't afford to lose it. I am interested to see what happens up here at resistance. Okay, going to more intensive live TA. Let's look at decentralized finance. And actually, after we get done doing this, I'm going to do you a favor, and we're going to go through all the coins in a sector. So we didn't do it. We didn't do it on the member stream, but we gave members an idea about a sector that no one's talking about. Okay, Abstract is not live yet. It goes live in January. Thank you. Okay. There is no one better than the Eagle King. Okay. If you look at DeFi Daily, right? We also mentioned another DeFi protocol along with Sushi. DeFi is on support. Now, what I am going to give you guys, because I love you, and I think I know that mostly, you know, mostly on these streams, it's especially the ones at night. Okay. It's market update loyalists. It's guys who are already customers, most likely in Patreon and YouTube, probably both. And of course, this is a good time to say that I appreciate your business. Okay. Ondo comes down to its equilibrium point at $1.37. And guess what? This is going massively higher. We've all forgotten about the idea that BlackRock, Goldman, and all these other players basically missed everything this year. And Bitcoin is now so consensus, they can't do it, or they're just going to get fired. If they say, well, our strategy is to buy Bitcoin, they won't do it. They have to do something else. Okay, OM, this was the consensus, you know, like multi-100x, multi-1000x play all year. Okay, this what started out in February at 26 cents and went to $4. Okay, and you know what? It's not really backing off, which means you can start looking at other plays like Nexera. Okay, DMTR. I think this is like real world assets farming, dead, not doing anything. Dusk, a real world asset layer one. Okay, we have this on both RWA and privacy. We have a privacy portfolio that I put on the market update. I don't know, man. This at 23 cents, if you compare this to where this was back in March, everyone's blowing off privacy. Like a computer is going to be able to like break into the Swift system, but we don't want privacy. It's insane. It's absolutely bonkers. Ravencoin, right? My little box of chocolates from like the last cycle. Right? Anything that can get assets on chain, like who's looking at it? No one. No one is looking at it, literally. I think CHEX was a big one. Right? This was there was a huge move in this, right? And it's come off. Like the game, it goes up, it hits the top of one of these accumulation cones on LuxAlgo. Boom, it comes back to equilibrium, and that's your chance. That's your chance. Oh, Clearpool was the one. This is like banking online. Notice how these things, they like go up and they just don't move. They just sit there. I mean, BlackRock is coming. And even if there is a dip, you want to hoover it up on a dip. There is no dip in Clearpool right now. There is no dip in Clearpool. Okay. Additional AI agent narratives. I'm now on Dex Screener. So I've had someone talk to me about this project, Lush. Okay. Actually doing a lot of impressive things. This is another AI agent narrative. Okay. Looks like an accumulation cone to me. And again, this could be something akin to like AI OnlyFans, and they're after it at $66 million valuation. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 66 million fully diluted valuation. They are after it. I don't know that you buy it here, but look at this volume that's coming in. So, you know, everyone's like, well, I missed everything. No, bro, you haven't missed anything. Really, you haven't. And I don't think this virtual stuff is over either. I don't. Okay. I probably don't have the right symbol there. It's not over. It isn't. Because these things that have already demonstrated their ability to crank out these AI celebrities, I mean, on a daily chart, it is at the premium zone. Okay. So that's very stretched out. And I understand that people might take profits. You have to be careful if this thing goes to resistance and doesn't back off. Okay. One thing we also discussed was gaming. Okay. We discussed this in the 2025 preview. You know, we didn't discuss any gaming coins, which is why, you know, frankly, I can discuss it now. This idea about 50% and 62% retracements, I think we said this, you're going to make a living on these retracement levels. In Gala, it's 0.036. It may be that simple. Everyone's down on Polkadot. Why? Polkadot sitting on the 62% retracement at 6.75. I mean, everything, it's almost like they unwound most of the election trade just in time for the politicians to be boxed into a corner where they have to do the election trade. How about that? Right? Like this thing that they said about, you know, not only what they said about the labor market, but the fact that people got censored over that. No way, man. No one's going to let that go. And even if they do bury it, honestly, I'm not going to forget it. I mean, I'm going to forgive, but I'm not going to forget it. I'm going to remember that, oh yeah, I'm interested in Polkadot. Because again, imagine what happens to the protocol that actually figures out how to connect everything. Like we did discuss Rune. Somebody brought it up, but I didn't chart it, so I can chart it now, right? Because I didn't do it before. Because I mean, that's how much content we had on the member podcast. That's how much content we didn't even get to go through. Like we were going to go, well, we'll tell you what we're going to go through. We didn't go through everything. We're doing like reaction work in some ways to other people's forecasts. Okay. So here's Rune, right? You know, they do this. They do the false breakout of the top. Okay. And then they do the false breakout of the bottom, you know, and it looked awesome at the top and it looks terrible at the bottom. Fact of the matter is, cross-chain can come back because Solana can come back. Like absolutely nobody believes in Solana anymore. We discussed Kaspa. This was a big layer one last go round. Absolutely dead money. Like what happens if they get something issued on Kaspa? Some kind of I don't know, any type of AI agent meme coin. And then I know like SEI was big, and then SUI got big, and SEI has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm not even going to tell you. I mean, this is like, it's a little messy on the chart. Okay. Yeah. Somebody just asked for Rune. I did Rune just now. SEI is at the bottom of an accumulation cone. Rune's, I'm sorry, SEI is on Coinbase. Okay. Rune, I can go to a different look if you missed it. I'm having a hard time being bearish cross-chain. I'm just saying. I'm having a hard time being bearish cross-chain. Because cross-chain or Rune hasn't really done anything. And if you look at the predictions about the total value locked in crypto, I don't understand how that could not translate into cross-chain DeFi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it. Like next quarter, like I did this silly fib extension thing, like January of next year, Rune is approaching like a circle touch, which is either going to mean a breakup or a breakdown. Okay. PEAQ. We have got some people who are into PEAQ. Let me tell you, they were in on the member stream. They're back. Okay. Obviously we have to go beyond the quarterly chart. So let's talk about this. We're seeing this in XRP, Algorand, Hedera, PEAQ. Sometimes after a big rally, what do markets do? They bore you out of the market. So in Polkadot and Sushi, they're shaking you out. In virtuals, they're grinding you, like it just keeps going up and there's no way to get in. And then in some of these other things, they're just going sideways and everyone's like, when is it going to go up? When is it going to go up? Most likely it goes up when everyone just gives up. But again, I can't believe I know this sounds so insane coming from a YouTuber. I just can't believe there's a bearish case for altcoins. I mean, if we don't need alternative assets at this point, when are we ever going to need alternative assets? We need crypto QE. The orange man is into Bitcoin, and everyone around the orange man, like his most popular people, just made dirty diapers. Like day after day, multiple times. So what has he got? Right? Like what happened to power to the people? They're like, oh my God, we need to press the Bitcoin button now. Now, yes, the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Right. I know it's easy to look down on that. It's easy to say it won't happen. It's very fashionable. Say, oh, the crypto zealots all want it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Art of the deal, people. If he built skyscrapers, he can build a crypto industry. Right. And it's now more important than ever. Like I said, the upside targets that we have in an orange man friendly world, dude, the portfolio. I mean, we put it right up on the screen. Like this is stuff, some of the stuff you can get on Coinbase, some of the stuff you have to dig for in the small cap zone. We told you flat out, what are the coins we like? It's right there. So the QR code is there. There's a $ button on the bottom of the chat. And to complete the shameless shill, okay, I can't get it up here. I'll do the end of the shameless shill later. There's a join button on the homepage. Okay. So a lot of influencers, or so they say, are going to get replaced by AI agents, or the next big influencers will be AI agents. And I guess it's really not appropriate for a 55-year-old influencer to say that he won't get replaced by AI agents, because they could replace me. But I got news for you. They will never replace a man and a woman talking about crypto. Not the way we do it. Okay. So here's the YouTube page. Here is the join button. You pop that. Okay. You get Miss Toby Ward telling you about the benefits that you get. Okay. And then there's all these cool emojis down here that you can use on the stream. And members, as they grow in membership, their months and years, they get special emojis next to their name. What could possibly be more fun? We are telling you how things are going to be. And we're doing so in a way that can't be replicated by a machine, because it's a man and a woman talking about crypto, not just a crypto bro in his basement. Okay. And end of hard shill. Okay. Here comes the ISO 2022 tokens from the Eagle King. Okay. All right. Here comes that. I'm sharing the screen in a minute. Okay. A lot of people asking about these coins. Remember when I said you're free to build about the country? These coins are where you do the building. But what they're going to do is they're going to bore you out of it first. ISO 2000, I don't know how you say this. 20022 compliant. XRP, much higher than anyone thinks. Algorand, love the chart. Hedera, love the chart. Okay, XDC we have looked at before. Okay, QNT is a dark horse with a massive upside target. So why don't we take a shot at doing QNT? And you know, somebody brought up on the member stream that you could have a Cardano Bitcoin bridge. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if one of these guys from Cardano, excuse me for being a jerk, but actually figures out how to do something useful? Forget about it, especially as it pertained to Bitcoin. I think this made in America crypto trade has already been forgotten about. People forgot about it. Like it was like people treated these coins like meme coins. Like they went up, everyone dumped them, and everyone's moving on to something else. I completely disagree. Right? This is telling you up to premium, back to equilibrium, and it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there, and everybody just got done selling it, and I just don't know why. Because, you know, you got told that the orange man was going to go after it. Now you're getting told by everybody that he shouldn't. Meanwhile, his two most popular lieutenants, it's almost like they said this stupid thing on purpose. I just can't believe it. But I know that I just want something alternative right now. Like right now. Like even if it doesn't, even if it's not built tomorrow or next month or even, you know, 6 months from now, I still want it. This is catching my eye. Spectre AI. Okay. Member request on Farcaster. Farcaster flower. Oh God, would I love to see this thing take off. I mean, you know, like DGen doesn't really trade well. It's kind of heartbreaking, right? And this MSTR coin that I liked, you know, if there's something wrong with this and if it's broken, it's because it's on ETH. And MicroStrategy became the meme stock. Like instead of the meme coin of Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy became the meme stock. Now, this is not to say that, sometimes I think these guys need an AI angle. Okay. So they're not getting what they want in the short term. But all these meme coins do go up, and then they do go down 80 to 90%, 70% before they turn around and go up. So I'm not selling you this. I never knew what the right level to buy this was. I knew it wasn't 50 million market cap. It never is, right? Especially on the first run up. Okay, let's go over some points. Let's go over some points. Made in America crypto is going to come back, because you really have to wonder, now that the votes have been counted, whether they actually care about Americans. Now, I know that's a little bit more political than I've been, because I'm usually trying to be careful, but I'm over it. I'm over it. And I think as it leads to crypto, we didn't even talk about that necessarily in the podcast. That's more market update stuff. But, when you listen to Toby talk about what happens in this market and what the upside targets are, if the administration comes in like friendly and super friendly, then, everything that you're depressed about, you be euphoric about. And how to trade this market going forward, let's just say that, all the way up, down, all the way up, down. You're going to have to get used to this. That's why you need to like and subscribe to the channel, right? If you don't get any money, if you're from overseas, right, you're trying to make it, subscribe to the channel, right? And if you can get in these member areas, it's an investment. It's an investment, because getting the coins and getting set between now and the time the guy takes his hand off the Bible, if we don't have crypto QE, they're going to have a mess that will eventually propel Bitcoin like it was crypto QE, but they can pick how they want to do it. They can either let things break, which I would prefer not to talk about, okay, or they can get crypto QE going, and then you buy the dip in crypto when the stock market dips. The stock market may give you dips. You will get dips. You are getting dips. In 2021, people were like, oh my God, there's no dip. Now there are dips, and everyone who's bullish doesn't want to buy. That's the wrong mentality. Your 2026 price target for Bitcoin is too low. Your 2025 price target for XRP is too low. We're overestimating what Elon can do and underestimating what the Orange Man and Michael Saylor can do. Make sure you check out the member podcasts, more videos, more portfolios. Like we haven't even started. We were online tonight for almost 2 hours. I will see you tomorrow